My dissertation is a comparison of forage legumes, red clover and lucerne against traditional ryegrass on a dairy farm in Staffordshire. In the spring of 2011, I ploughed up a field at home that needed reseeding, and I sow ryegrass, red clover with ryegrass companion and lucerne with ryegrass companion, and I've been measuring dry matter forage volumes over the course of the year that have been produced. I'm hoping to find out which forage produces most forage from the year. Then I'm multiplying that by a industry valuation for that forage, and I'm also taking into account soil nitrogen change. So however much the soil nitrogen has changed, I'm putting a financial value in how much fertilisers I have to put on or it's been given to the soil over the course of the year.
Doing an evaluation of the current pressures on white rhino in Botswana and the current conservation policies that affect them. Well, I spent my placement out in Botswana on a game reserve that's had the second largest population of white rhino in the country. So I collected a lot of data when I was out there with regards to the pressures such as poaching on them, and I'm now applying that onto my dissertation, and also sending out some questionnaires to the other private owners in the country itself to get their views on it as well. It's kind of reaching a critical point for white rhino in southern Africa and also in Botswana, where poaching is becoming a real problem, and legislation needs to catch up with that now to ensure they're effectively protected for the future. And so what I'm hoping to find out is that there are some options that can be put into place and give some advice on possible legislation changes that will effectively do this.
I'm doing an examination into the benefits that riding horses have on disabled people. I'm going to do a methodology of observation and questionnaires. So I'm going to go observe the people that are on the horses. I'm going to observe the horses to see if there's any psychological impact on them. And then I'm going to do questionnaires to the horse yard owners to see why they do it, because there's hardly any funding for them, and to the carers to see if there's any long-term benefits that the kids or the people that are riding horses get. I want to kind of narrow down what the benefits are and then try and add it to the research that's already out there and try and get more centres to do the RDA, the riding for disabled, because there's thousands of people out there that need it, and there's only 30,000 people that benefit from it at the minute, and there's still, for every one person, there's 4 people on a waiting list.
My dissertation is an evaluation of mountain biking at 2 locations, exploring the physical impact on the environment. I'm going to do questionnaires at 2 trail centres, so Forest Dean and Coilin Declar up in North Wales. I'm going to do questionnaires there, hopefully speak to the management about what they're doing to counteract the erosion effects of the bikes. I'm hoping that the people who are in the centres will have an interest in it, because that way they'll be able to see if the bikes are actually having an effect, and see I'm going to do recommendations and then show them what they can do to prevent erosion happening.
Yeah, I'm looking into using Facebook as a marketing tool, so social media platforms, and how you can interact with between clients and companies and their clients. I worked on placement for a small independent ski tour operator, and one of the first things I did on placement was set up their Facebook page and their Twitter account. So I've seen the page grow from start to finish. Well, not to finish, because it's still going now, and I'm still actively involved with it. So yeah, it's been great to see the page grow and the number of fans increase.
My dissertation is looking at the physical environment of a rugby rehabilitation centre and whether that is an impact on their success or not. Well, the research is going to be carried out through a series of interviews from key people that are either the owners of the rehab, or they're kind of like the parole officer, the local authorities, some key members of staff, and then I'm going to be doing some focus groups with the clients and asking them what their thoughts and feelings and attitudes are towards the rehabilitation centre that they're in. I'm looking to compare two, and comparing one land-based rehab, which is on a farm, and one which is situated in an urban area, and seeing whether the two environments create a different attitude or a different environment for them, and if that affects their success rate. The hope for this research is is that it can be used in a way to see whether funding can be available to stimulate farmers into going into kind of drug rehabilitation as another enterprise, really. You know, at the moment, food's quite an unpredictable economic market, and so kind of care farming, which is working with disabilities, is coming up in farming, and so it would be nice to kind of have some drug rehab farms set up. And there are also issues with that, with like the community, the local community. How would they feel about having a drug rehab set up in their local farm? You know, what are people's thoughts and fears on people that are using as well? So it would be good to kind of see what the results are and see whether it can affect any kind of funding changes.